I came across you along Instagram, where you have an amazing following there. You've done some amazing content, and again, this is your kind of you kind of get like three Super Bowls, right? Like kind of back to back here between Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's.
That's about right.
So you kind of like the what's her name, the one, the Martha Stewart of the Millionaire Club? Is that how this works?
Well, I wouldn't say just that. My brand actually has nothing to do with money. It's just a lifestyle brand.
Okay.
And my name is Melonie, so it's just a play on my name. But I do, yeah, all things household, hosting, and a little bit more.
All right. Well, let's go over. So, are you a big fan or focus a lot on etiquette in what you do as well?
There is some etiquette involved. Not a lot, but I can hold my own at a dinner table.
All right. I can't. I'm a redneck from Ocoee, Florida. So, and I've married into people that have class, and so what are some things? So if you're somebody from the other side of the tracks, and you're going to go to the in-laws, or any family gathering, any gathering where people that have some class, what should people like me keep in mind?
Well, we're going to mind our manners, right? We're going to bring something to the party.
Okay, that was my big
That's
question. I should bring something, even though they're in-laws and everything. So a bottle of wine, something like that, should be expected of me.
Absolutely. It's always nice compliment to the hostess to say, thank you for having me. I was thinking of you, and here's what I brought to share and contribute.
So I'm looking at your website here, the millionairehouse.com, and I see that you say, I believe that your home should be a reflection of who you are as a person or a family. And if you focus on those things, it tends to come together quite nicely. Now, if my home is in a disarray and a complete wreck, I mean, that is an extension of me.
And that's okay. It's all about being comfortable in your own home.
Because I feel like Melanie, if my house were in a perfect working order, well, then I'd be lying to the people. Because if that says something about me, then I'd be lying about who I am.
That's okay. It's all about being comfortable. But if you're hosting, you want your guests to be comfortable as well. So you want to tend to the two most important rooms, which is your kitchen and your restroom.
Huh. Not the restroom that guests would go into, obviously, not the restroom, right?
Correct. Correct. Yeah, you don't have to have anyone in there, but the one that everyone's going to use, you want to make sure that one's ready to go.
And by ready to go, you just mean clean, right?
Clean, full of supplies.
Okay. All right. Full of supplies. All right.
So, what are some things that people tend to overlook, right? When you're talking about, let's say, something as simple as the restroom, right? Is there something that we can kind of do maybe a little differently to make that experience a little better for those visiting and not familiar, again, with the surroundings?
Well, it's always going to depend on your personal style, but I try to pay attention to the small details. So something as little as for me in our bathroom, rather than hanging a towel, I put dinner napkins in the bathroom because a lot of people are germ freaks and they don't want to dry their hands on a towel that someone else has used. With dinner napkins, they can dry their hands and throw it out, and everyone wins with something like that. So
All right,
I
well,
try to pay attention to small details.
so, as a new homeowner and owning a house for the first time in my life, if I were to do something like that, I've been told I need to put a sign next to it that says, "Do not flush these." That or whatever you put in there, make sure that it's thin enough that it is flushable. Your idiot
That
friends
is
and family toss them into the toilet.
a great point. And you took the words right out of my mouth, actually. Cute little sign that says trash goes here. It's perfect.
All right. So when people track you down and are watching your videos, what are you focusing on when you're trying to help out people? What are some of the main things that week in and week out you think people should be thinking about?
So I try to show people the easy way to do things that may seem difficult. So whether it be how to style your table for Thanksgiving dinner, or right now I'm doing a series on YouTube where I'm showing people how to get ready for Christmas. So it's just about showing people how to do things that appear difficult or appear unachievable, and there's
But it'll
always a way to do it if you have steps.
you said it's cheap and easy, but it'll make me look classy in the end.
Absolutely,
Yeah, that's
absolutely.
all I need. The appearance of classiness. Um, Jonny Torres was telling me that that every now and again, I guess you mix up a specialty drink. It's one of your things, right? What
Right, Mel's minute.
That's what I'd like to do instead of bringing just a bottle of wine. What would be a cool drink? You know, something that's not going to put people on their butt. I'm not, not talking about a Jägermeister mixed with, Johnny Walker mixed with Jack Daniels, but a good holiday, say, mixture of things I could bring to my in-laws for the weekend and be the hit of the
Well,
party.
and be the head of the party. At this time of year, the Moscow mules are really popular. They're cold, they're
Vodka.
refreshing. I'm sorry?
That's vodka based, right?
Correct. I put vodka in mine and then ginger beer. Really easy to make, really delicious. The
Do I have
other
to bring the
favorite
mugs?
that no, no, you don't have to serve them in those mugs. You can serve them in a regular glass too.
Good.
The mugs are they're fancy.
What are some other good ones for the holidays?
I also like chocolate martinis. Those are the ones that I serve when people come over. The dye with chocolate. Again, there's vodka involved, and that's always a good time.
And Melonie, what will you be setting out for Santa Claus this year?
What will I be setting out for Santa?
Chocolate
He likes
martini.
milk and cookies at our house.
Martini?
we we keep him sober. He's got a lot of flight crafting to do that night, so we we keep it light.
So are the holidays stressful for you, or I know he asked you earlier, is this like your Super Bowl? So is this? But the Super Bowl can be stressful too. Is this a stressful time of year, or do you get excited this time of year?
It can be, but I've learned to not sweat the small stuff. So I get excited. It's all about planning, having a plan for whether you're visiting or whether you're hosting, and really having everyone participate. You can ask people to bring something to your house. You can have something for the kids to do so that they feel like they're involved, whether it be watching the Macy's Day Parade and counting um, giant floats, or whether it be break and bake cookies, something to keep them busy. But yeah, you have to be able to work through the stress of it all and just enjoy it because at the end of the day, you're making memories, right?
This is something that people have to keep in mind as well. Stress eating over the holidays, as friends and family come to town, and you're trying to keep it together for a few days until they head back north. You just can't see. So next hour, we're going to balance Melonie out next hour with a nutrition expert.
Yeah. Well, and I was about to say, we need to get to the important stuff, which is the food, right? So that's what tomorrow's all about. Everybody's looking for it. Somebody actually on Twitter made a list of the most popular vegetables, and they ranked them, for Thanksgiving. Not a vegetable guy myself, but what do you see as kind of maybe a new spin on a traditional dish, or maybe something that's being introduced to Thanksgiving now that maybe wasn't being done previously?
That's a tough one. I'm actually not hosting this year. I'm visiting. I can't say that I've seen any new spins, but I always try to serve vegetables. I'm the type of girl, I like my carbs. So when I'm hosting, I tend to go heavy on corn casserole and sweet potato casserole. But there are people that like vegetables, right? So you try to throw in a broccoli casserole in there or some sort of green that your healthier people are going to be able to enjoy.
Just put it in a casserole. That makes it real healthy.
Cheese on everything.
And now this
broccoli.
is. Sorry, go ahead.
Broccoli soup is not a healthy meal.
It's delicious though.
So my family now, we've always gotten together, but I was telling Fish over the past week that we've started to get more traditional. because we're a first generation family. So I was first generation born in the United States. My family, immigrated from South America here. So slowly they've started to incorporate more of the traditional type dishes. But of course, I would think for any family hosting a Thanksgiving, the big question mark is how much food should I make? And so when it comes to turkey or even some of the more popular dishes, what are some of the how do you do the math there when it comes to that kind of thing?
You actually don't have to. When you go into the store and you buy your food, all you got to do is know about how many people are coming, and every grocer will be able to help you figure out how much food you need, how big of a turkey you need, how big of a ham you need. You don't have to try to do the guesswork.
Well, very cool. And then anything you kind of see, I mean, you also do some amazing decorating, so I highly encourage everybody to go to your Instagram account, and I'll post your Instagram handle there one more time up top. But do you, I mean,
You got it sliding over your head. You got to move it back over your head a little bit.
Oh, I know. It's so you've already decorated for Christmas, and it goes to show. I do follow your Instagram account. So, I mean, did you just completely? I mean, do you think it's okay to just kind of completely skip over like Thanksgiving or fall decorating?
Not necessarily. I actually don't skip over it. I just do it earlier. As bloggers and vloggers, we have to have our content ready early so that we can inspire the people. So we have to do it all in advance. So my tree went up on October 15th so that I could have all my content ready for YouTube by the end of the month, because that's when people start looking for inspiration for the holidays.
That's awesome. And when we have you back after the holidays, I was just looking at one of your blogs. And like I said, as a new home buyer, there's a lot of new stuff going on. And so we have our laundromat coming in. We have our washer dryer coming in. And so that looks like it was your latest blog about how to, make that the most functional as you possibly can and make it look good and whatnot. So we'll have you back on, and I'll show you the corner that I'm
Awesome.
working with. You can help us out.
I'd be happy to.
Well,
Melanie,
I'll
go
jump
ahead.
in here just for one last question, since the new homeowner didn't ask. They haven't started decorating, right? Am I right, Fisher? You haven't started decorating a house yet?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
We still have walls and everything.
So where do they start? Like, what's a good starter kit to decorate your home?
Right. So you want to start in the rooms that you're going to use the most. Usually that's going to be a family room, your kitchen, or your bedroom. Those are the rooms that you want to get comfortable, because that's where you're going to spend most of your time. And then you can decide where to go from there. But that's always my suggestion to new homeowners. Start in the places where you're going to spend the most time.
All right. So don't experiment in the rooms we're not using. Just go ahead and get right into the master and, put some paint on the walls.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, Melonie Graves, thank you so much for joining us today on the Wake.Show. Make sure you track her down on the internet, the MellionaireHouse.com, the MellionaireHouse.com. Is that also your Instagram?
Yes, it's also my Instagram and my YouTube channel.
Melanie, it was a pleasure talking to you.
Thanks, guys. Have a great day and happy Thanksgiving.